Welcome to the ultimate tour of Ocean Blue and Sand, an all-inclusive resort here in Punta Cana. Now it has 7 restaurants, 11 bars, 2 huge pools.
There's definitely a lot of soap in this beer.
And a bunch of perks and exclusive areas only available to those who book Privilege. Now because we booked Privilege on our stay, not only are we going to be able to show you all the areas of the resort available to all guests, but we're also going to be able to show you those exclusive areas. So be sure to stick around to the end because you are not going to want to miss those. Now, everybody that stays at this resort starts off in the lobby, regardless if you book standard or Privilege. So we'll see you there. Now here we are at the main lobby. Let's get this tour started. Now this is one of the better lobbies we found at a resort in Punta Cana. It's very spacious. We love that there's always a breeze coming through. We also like the light fixtures that are hanging on the ceiling, as well as the intricate tile floor. Now there is an oval bar behind me that we'll show you more of in a little bit. But first, when you get dropped off, you are going to need to check in. So if you booked standard, you're going to check in at the reception to my left. If you book Privilege like we did, then you're going to check in on my right. Now we're going to show you the standard check-in first. Now this reception area offers a bunch of comfortable seating and the air conditioning works great. It has an ATM machine as well as computers. Now yesterday when we arrived, it was a little bit busier. As you can see now, there are no lines, but we're going to show you where we checked in, which is across the lobby. Because we did book Privilege, we had a private check-in, which we didn't have to wait in line for at all. They gave us our wristbands and we were quickly on our way to enjoy the property. Next to the Privilege check-in is the piano lounge. Now it's only open at night, is adults only, and requires formal attire. It has a specialty martini menu and a pianist that performs multiple times each night. Now even though we aren't typically huge fans of piano lounges, we were pretty big fans of this one, as I particularly loved the unique decor, while Skylar loved the drink options here, which included this fantastic Brugal Double Reserve Rum. We also have to mention that the bartenders here were some of our favorites, and the piano player was really impressive too. Now on either side of the lobby, you'll find hallways with desks where you can book tours and transfers. And in the middle of the lobby is the main attraction, which is the lobby bar, which offers a good variety of liquors, frozen drinks, tropical cocktails, beer, and even coffee. Now we should mention that one of the many perks of booking the Privilege level at Ocean Blue and Sand is that you do get access to a premium tier of liquors, and Skylar sure did take advantage of it. During our stay, the lobby hosted a variety of activities and performances. Last night there was a cover band. They played a lot of Beatles and other classic rock, and we thought they were really good. Just past the lobby is an oval pond that is surrounded by restaurants, bars, shopping, and other entertainment. We're going to start over here at the theater and work our way around. During our stay here at Ocean Blue and Sand, there was a circus show, so we'll show you footage from that right now. Actually, just kidding. The circus show when we were here ended up being out in front of the lobby, so we'll show you that before heading over to the game room. Now, while the circus show at the lobby did only consist of 2 performers, they were incredibly skilled and quite entertaining. And after the circus show came a cyborg dance party, which was definitely one of the more unique dance parties we've ever seen. The following night, there was a show that took place back in the theater, and while we didn't know many of the songs from this Dominican show, we really did enjoy the dancing and the bright and colorful costumes. Next to the theater is a game room and a teens club, but before we take you over there, I want to talk about this entertainment area behind me. It has an older vibe. It kind of seems like you're in a village area or a town square versus a resort, and we kind of like that. Now this building doesn't open until 5 p.m. On the main level, you'll find a bowling alley, other games, and a bar, and the teen club is on the 2nd floor. We'll show you some footage from when it's open. Now during our brief visit here, this place was popular, and understandably so, as it was one of the most impressive game rooms and family fun spots we've seen on any resort. And although the teen club upstairs was also full of young children and adults, it was another great space to dance, chill, or play games. On the side of this building is where you'll find the batting cage and archery, which are 2 unique options that we have not seen on any other resort property before. Next, we've got a bunch of restaurants and bars to show you. Now this line of buildings is filled with specialty restaurants, the sports bar, and the coffee shop. The one right behind me is the steakhouse. It does require reservations, and we were able to eat here during our stay, so we'll show you some footage from inside right now. We found the steakhouse to offer a pretty good variety of options, including burgers, ribs, seafood, and of course, steaks. But to see and hear more about our experience in the steakhouse, you'll need to tune in to our second Ocean Blue and Sand episode, where we'll not only show you our steakhouse experience, but also our experience dining in the other a la carte restaurants, at the buffets, and even in the exclusive privilege level areas. Next to the steakhouse is the Italian restaurant. It does not require reservations. We were also able to eat here during our stay, so we'll show you some of that footage now. While we're not going to give away too much of our Italian restaurant experience in this video, we will tell you that this is where Skylar had his favorite dessert on the entire resort. Next to the Italian restaurant is Route 66, which is a classic American diner restaurant. Because we're American and there are so many other great options to choose from, we decided to skip this one, but we did peek inside and it looks really cool. Next to the diner is the sports bar. We went there last night. They had a ton of TVs and we were even able to catch a bit of the Chiefs game. Now it is open really late. So if you're a night owl, a sports fan, or just looking for a fun spot to play some games, the sports bar's got you covered. Next to the sports bar is one of my favorite places on the property in Mike's Coffee. We love their hot and iced lattes. Their whipped cream was really good. They also offer pastries, and we love that they were open from 7:30 in the morning until 11 p.m. at night. Now, if you know anything about our love for coffee, it won't surprise you a bit that we paid several visits to Mike's. But in addition to the coffee, we also enjoyed their sweet treats and the cozy atmosphere. But one guy who seemed to enjoy Mike's even more than us was this friendly peacock, who seemed to spend most of his time hanging outside the front door and peering in through the windows.
Yep, I need some coffee too, Peacock.
Next to the coffee shop is the Mexican restaurant. Now we didn't eat here because we ate at a Mexican restaurant at the last resort that we stayed at, but it must be really good because it was very busy last night. While we didn't get to eat here, Skylar did sneak in to grab some shots during the day, and we both really liked the bright and festive Mexican decor. Next to the Mexican restaurant is the French restaurant. We were having a really hard time deciding between the French restaurant and the Italian restaurant because both of them were highly recommended. Now we ended up going with the Italian restaurant since we ate at a French restaurant at the last resort that we stayed at. Now during this trip, we're actually staying at 3 different Punta Cana resorts. The first one we stayed at was a budget option. This one is more mid-level, and then the one that we're staying at next is a little bit higher level. So if you're interested in seeing what our experiences are like at all 3 of those resorts, be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn the notifications on so you won't miss any of them. As we show you a little more inside the French restaurant, we do want to mention that this restaurant is adults only and does have a formal dress code but does not require reservations. Next to the French restaurant is one of the better photo opportunities on the property, and next to that is the ice cream shop. Now it's only open at night, but you know we had to try it. Next to the ice cream shop is the casino. Now it doesn't open until 7 p.m. We haven't made it inside yet, and honestly, I'm not sure if we will. We've really been enjoying the evening entertainment, but if we do make it inside, we'll let you know what we find. While we did make it into the casino, it was one of the smallest casinos we've been in, and there honestly wasn't a whole lot to see. And because it's generally not encouraged to film inside casinos, we're gonna give you a little peek at the rest of the resort instead. Next to the casino are the shops. Now there are only 2 of them, but they're both pretty big and offer a wide selection of items, including things like souvenirs, clothes, alcohol, snacks, beach attire, and even jewelry. Now in the evening, local vendors do set up around this pond behind me, but beware, some of them can be quite persistent. Next to the shops is Waves the nightclub. Now it is only for adults, and in case you were wondering, it is not a strip club. Now it opens up late and we'll show you inside. We showed up to the club right at its 11 p.m. opening time, and as you can probably tell, the dance floor wasn't too hoppin'. But as the drinks kept pouring, the club slowly came to life, and by the time we made our way back to our room, it was a pretty lively scene. Now that we've shown you everything around the lobby and the entertainment area, we're going to make our way towards the pools and the beach. Just beyond the main entertainment area is one more specialty restaurant. It is the Japanese restaurant. It does require reservations, and we'll meet you there. Now fortunately, we did get a chance to dine at the Japanese restaurant, and we'll show you that entire experience in our Ocean Blue and Sands dining episode. But to give you a real brief summary of the experience, there was a lot of food and a whole lot of fire. Now the Japanese restaurant is located right next to the main buffet, so we're going to take you there next. Now the buffet on this resort has two separate entrances, each with their own bar and two separate dining areas. But the two dining areas, known as El Carry and La Tortuga, both share a single buffet. The buffet is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and while many staples such as fresh juice, fresh breads, and the salad bar were available every day, certain days did have items that weren't available on others, such as the International Day, which featured a ramen station, sushi, and even a ceviche bar. Now we do have a whole lot more to share of this buffet, along with our thoughts on the overall quality and some of our favorites, and by now, we're guessing you know where to find it. On the other side of the buffet is where you're going to find the medical center, the spa, and the gym, so we'll show you those now. Now if you're unlucky enough to have to pay a visit to the medical office during your vacation, it can be found just a few steps from the El Carry buffet. And just a few more steps from there is where you'll find the spa, and right next to that is the gym, which was pretty small but very well cooled and had a decent variety of modern weight and cardio machines. Now beyond the buffet and the gym is where the buildings with all the rooms begin. They line the property on each side all the way down to the beach. Now the walk to the pools and the beach is a little long, so that's great if you're wanting to get a little bit of exercise, but if not, there are trams that will take you from one end of the property to the other. And this is where the resident flamingo tends to hang out. Now you regulars on our channel may recall that we recently went on a search for flamingos that turned out to be quite the failure. So I was super excited to find that one lives right here at the resort. Now if you do want to hop on one of the trams, you'll want to wait at one of these stops. It does say that they run every 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., but honestly we've seen them a little bit more frequently. Now if you did book Privilege, you can contact the Privilege staff and they'll come and pick you up wherever you are and take you to wherever you want to go. Now since we really enjoyed taking in the beauty of this property along the roughly 2,000-foot walk from the lobby area to the beach, we only utilize the tram service when transporting our luggage. And we'll show you a little more footage of this beautiful property and from those rides as we make our way to the pools. Now if you keep walking down the path, you'll eventually get to the first pool. Now it does have a swim up bar, and at least during our stay, it seemed to be less busy and more quiet than the pool closer to the beach. As we show you some more footage from the quiet pool, we want to know what you think of this resort so far. Would you consider staying at Ocean Blue and Sand for your next beach vacation? Or have you already booked to stay at this resort? Let us know in the comments. And if you've already stayed at this resort in the past, be sure to let us know about your experience. Now beyond the chill pool we just showed you is the more lively pool that's closer to the beach, and in between the two is a much smaller whirlpool, which is a great spot to relax, but the temperature of the water seems to be about the same as the other two pools. Now while the quiet pool and the whirlpool may be great spots to relax, if you're looking for a pool party, then the beachfront pool is where you'll definitely want to be. Now even though we'd been to 4 other Punta Cana all-inclusives before this one, we'd never been to a foam party, as they typically take place on the weekends, and we tend to do our traveling during the week. So when we realized that the Ocean Blue and Sand foam party would be going on while we were at the resort, we were pretty excited that we'd finally get to attend one. The party took place right beside the swim-up bar, where these bartenders were definitely earning their paycheck. But if you plan to enjoy a drink in the pool during the foam party, we definitely recommend bringing your own cup with a lid on it.
There's definitely a lot of soap in this beer. It still tastes pretty good though.
Even though Skylar definitely drank a little bit of soap, we both still had an absolute blast at our very first foam party, and we'd highly recommend attending if you happen to be visiting this resort on a Saturday. But if you're not the party type, you can find a much calmer area clear on the other end of this massive pool. Now, at the very end of the more lively pool closest to the beach, you'll find a roped off area with loungers and umbrellas designated for privileged guests. And during our stay, there are always plenty available. Now that you've seen the pools, everything else that we have to show you on this resort is along the beach. But before we head out there, we're going to give you a tour of our room. Welcome to room 10109, a privileged junior suite located on the first floor of building 10. Now, before we give you a tour of this room, we have to share that we absolutely love that these privilege bracelets also work as our room keys, so we don't have to worry about bringing additional keys with us around the resort. Now, as soon as you enter the room, the bathroom is to your right, and we're going to start there. This bathroom is very spacious. It has dual vanities, a huge mirror, a privileged bathroom kit, and a hairdryer under the sink. Now, this bathroom does have a hydrotherapy tub, but honestly, when we stay at resorts, we never use them. So my favorite part of this bathroom has to be the shower. It has a huge rainfall shower head, a handheld shower, and even a shelf built into the wall to put my personal items. I also have to mention the cool tile in the shower, and it comes with plenty of shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. Now let's head across the hall to the closet. The left side of the closet is a great place to store your luggage. The right side is where you'll find hangers, a safe that can fit a laptop, a steamer, as well as 3 drawers. Across from the closet is a full-length mirror, and then there's a bench for unpacking your luggage right next to 2 American outlets. Now let's get to the main living area. Right here is where you're going to find the thermostat. There's also another mirror, and next to that is a feature that we don't typically see in resorts. It's a window into the bathroom, but most of it is frosted glass. Now we have a king bed with nightstands, lights, and American outlets on either side. Because we are privileged, we have robes and slippers to enjoy during our stay. Across from the bed is a desk area with a really good sized TV, more drawers, a coffee machine, ice bucket, as well as the mini fridge. This fridge is stocked with Presidente Light, sodas, juice, water, mini liquor bottles, and even plantain chips. At the very end of the desk is a chair and an espresso machine. Now this side of the room is a sitting area with a lounge chair in the corner and a couch on the other side. Because we booked privilege, we did get a bottle of wine and a snack upon check-in. Now let's go check out the patio. Now this patio is a really good size, but because we're on the first floor on the edge of the property, we really don't have a view. Now honestly, we don't care because we absolutely love the location of this room. It's only steps away from the pool, the beach, and the privilege lounge, which arguably has some of the best views on the entire property. So let's go show you the rest of this resort. On the edge of the property, right next to the beach, is where you'll find the Daisy Club for kids 4 to 8. And right next to that on the beach is the dive shop, where you'll find water sports rentals and can book excursions. Next to the dive shop is the main beach area with a sand volleyball court, loungers, palapas, and even a tiki bar. Now the sand here is pretty white and quite soft, but we did experience a lot of sargassum washing up on the beach during our stay. As we show you a few more shots of the section of beach that's available to all guests, we have to mention that while this was one of the most beautiful beach accesses we've ever seen, the beach itself here really wasn't all that impressive. In fact, this was our least favorite beach of the 6 Punta Cana resorts we visited. If you want to see any of those beaches that we'd rank ahead of this one, then be sure to check out our Punta Cana Resorts playlist after this video. But for now, it's time to show you the area we enjoyed the most on the entire resort. Next to the main beach is the Privilege Beach. It is full of loungers and volley beds and even has its very own little tiki bar. While the beach here may not have been the biggest or most beautiful, this little beachfront tiki bar sure helped it gain some points with Skylar, as it served frozen cocktails with premium liquors and almost never had a line. Now the volley beds in the privilege area are first come first serve. You aren't able to reserve them, which is totally fine with us. There's about 6 of them that have an unobstructed view of the water. We didn't even try to get up early this morning to get one of those. We rolled in here around 11 a.m. and there were still plenty available. Now we are here during the low season in September, so we're not sure if during the high season it would be a little bit more challenging to get a volley bed.
lot cooler than the pools. The pools are warm.
Yeah,
This is pretty refreshing.
I agree with what Skylar said. The pools are quite warm, but the water out here is actually refreshing. So back there is the edge of our property. You can see the beach. It seems to have an issue with erosion, so it's not the prettiest beach we've stayed on. But if you turn around this way, look at those properties back there with all those coconut palms. It doesn't seem that down there they have as much issues with erosion, does it, from what you can see?
No, I don't think so.
The water still looks so pretty though. Like, the water is just as gorgeous as other resorts, I'd say.
So out of the 5 resorts that we've stayed at so far here in Punta Cana, the beach at this one actually is probably the least impressive. But this resort has a lot of other great qualities that do make up for it in our opinion.
Now, while the beach itself isn't our favorite, I absolutely love the privileged volley bed area. So if you're somebody that just wants to come and lay on a volley bed, enjoy the views of the turquoise waters with a tiki bar just steps away, then this would be a great spot for you. Next to the privileged beach is Villa Marina. Now this is where you could eat breakfast and lunch if you book privilege. There's also snacks available in the afternoon. Now it is a much smaller setting than the main buffet. It's open air and offers really great views of that privileged beach. Now in addition to its gorgeous views, Villa Marina offers another bar and some really delicious food, including a la carte breakfast items, a ceviche bar at lunch, and some of the best sweet treats I've had in the Dominican. And we'll show you a whole lot more of the dining experience at Villa Marina in our next Ocean Blue and Sands episode. Now at the far corner of Villa Marina is the Privilege Lounge. It's a great place to cool down, pour yourself a drink, grab a snack, and enjoy more views of this gorgeous water. Now the thing we loved most about the Privilege Lounge, other than the Caribbean views, was this open bar, where you could craft your own cocktail just to your liking. This was the first resort we'd ever been to where you could mix your own drink, and with such a great selection of high quality liquors and mixers to choose from, we sure did take advantage of it. Now, after we finish these drinks, we're gonna head back to our room and get ready for dinner. And all you have to do to see that experience, as well as all of our other dining experiences from this resort, is to click here right now. Thanks for watching.